he is really the person that got Marianne in this cage. That he really didn't have a psychotic, baby, Joe Goldberg is psycho, and I cannot believe that I'm saying this, but he's a bad guy. For clicking on this video. It's your girl, Your Good Karma. Listen, if it's your first time here, get it out the way. Like, comment, subscribe, and share, because you're going to enjoy yourself. If you're a returning subscriber, hey, how you doing? Make sure you like, comment, and share the video as well. Oh, hey, y'all. Listen, y'all know You is one of my favorite shows ever. If you don't know, now you know, and we going to talk about part 2, because I told y'all was talking about this show is boring, baby. You just not a real You fan, because You has always had the same formula. You build up to greatness. Every single season, we have built up to greatness, and You season 4 was no different. Let's get into it. Listen, like everybody else, I was unhappy that they broke it up into 2 parts. I'm like, give it all to me. One thing that these streaming services have done, baby, I ain't watching no show that I got to come back every week. If they drop an episode every week, I'm waiting till all the episodes drop, and I'm going to binge watch. It's what I do. And You, when they did the 2-parter, at first I was like, I'm going to wait till March 9th to do it all, but I couldn't, because I just love Joe Goldberg in this show so much that I was like, okay, I'm going to watch part 1 and then I'm going to watch part 2. If you have not watched part 1 of my review of part 1, please go watch that. It's up on my YouTube channel now. Can I just say, just like with all the other seasons, I am thoroughly satisfied and impressed with this show. I love, like, oh my goodness, there is no show doing it like You. And I don't care what y'all say. So we ended off part 1 where Rhys was said to be Joe's stalker, and he's the one killing up all these people, and Joe gonna be this vigilante and go after Rhys and get him, right? So when part 2 started, I'm like, I don't agree with that, Joe. I didn't agree with him being a vigilante going to get Rhys. I just thought he should leave. Go about your business and go disappear again. However, Joe is Joe. He gonna do what he gonna do. And, you know, he starts going after Rhys. But Rhys starts, like, upping the ante, getting Joe to kill people. So I'm like, man, Joe got to get out of this. Joe got to get out of this. Then he ups the ante on Joe and tells Joe he got Marianne kidnapped in the cage. Honey, when I found out Marianne did not make it on the train and she was kidnapped and she was in the cage, I was like, and Rhys is going to deliver her teeth in a fruit basket? Baby, I was like, Rhys got to go. Rhys got to die, because Marianne do not deserve to die. Like, Rhys got to go. Like, this whole time I'm thinking Marianne just say she made it back to Juliet, baby. She's in a cage and Rhys dead. That's when I was on Joe's side. That's when I flipped and I was like, you know what? No, now that he got Marianne, you got to take him out. See, before when you was doing it because you feel like he didn't need to be the mayor, you're tripping. But now when you about to take out Marianne, absolutely, you got to save Marianne, because it's kind of like your fault she in that situation, you know what I'm saying? So, Joe, Rhys got to go. Baby, lo and behold, honey, the scene where Joe goes to Rhys' house to kill him, okay, and Rhys doesn't know him, I'm like, okay, Rhys don't know him, and Joe killed Rhys, and then Rhys come. Then there's another Rhys in a black suit. I was like, Rhys got a twin? And listen, I'm gonna insert the tweet where another girl watched and was like, she just knew Rhys had a twin. And I was like, okay, Rhys got a twin, and it's the twin that did everything. So the plot is that the twin maybe wanted Rhys' life. Like, I just went into this whole conundrum when the whole point about it is Joe is a damn lunatic. Rhys really didn't know Joe. Joe created this whole alter ego of Rhys, and he the one been doing all the killing, child. Oh my gosh. And the writers, let me tell y'all something. Y'all full of shit. I'm sorry to cuss. But it's like, at this point, like, every season, okay, us Joe Goldberg fans have been giving Joe an out. We have been understanding why he's killing people. We have been, I guess, not that he's a hero, but that we just understand him, like, well, you know, he had to do it. I'm Team Go Goldberg. And they have put us in this situation where we just can't do that anymore. We literally cannot defend him anymore. And like, my brain is glitching because I always defend Joe. But now he is so unhinged and he is so crazy. And to know that Joe is really the person that killed up all these people. He is really the person that got Marianne in this cage. That he really had a psychotic, baby, Joe Goldberg is psycho. And I cannot believe that I'm saying this, but he's a bad guy. Hate that it took for Joe to get this unhinged for me to say this. Like, what does that say about all of us? Like, a person got to be this unhinged for us to be like, okay, now he's a bad guy. Like, none of all the stuff he did before, like, okay, he's a bad guy, but like, we understand him because we like Joe. But now you can't like him anymore. Like, Joe got to go. Like, he just has to go. He's girl, Joe ain't right in the head. And I knew he wasn't right in the head. See how I'm going back and forth? Because they put me through all these emotions. Joe is really, he's psychotic, honey. He is just, I cannot believe this. And to them writers, y'all didn't have to do this. Y'all, I see what you did there. And listen, to learn Marianne was in this cage, to learn that Joe is having this psychotic episode that he's having, that she's running out of food. It was a hard watch. It was a hard watch because I just really thought this girl was going to pass away and die. I thought that he was going to kill her. I thought that she wasn't going to make it out of the cage alive. Now listen, inserts Nadia. Shout out to Nadia, baby. Shout out to Nadia. Her and Marianne coming up with the plan to fake her overdose, because had she not, Joe was going to kill her. For Joe is all about self-preservation, right? If it goes against himself and him being okay, he's going to kill the person. If it inconveniences somebody he loves, he's going to kill the person. That was the only way Marianne was going to make it out, was to be dead, whether at the hands of Joe or of herself, right? So I loved how, because listen, when I thought Marianne overdosed, I was like, yeah, Joe gotta die. This girl didn't kill herself because she thought she lost custody of her daughter. Like, this was just wrong. And I just was so disgusted. I was like, this girl killed herself? Like, Joe is just evil. Like, and I've never felt like that about the character, but this time I was like, oh, like I hated him. And so to realize that it was all a part of the plan and they just slowed her heart rate down so that he could, you know, take her out of the cage and everything. I just thought that that was an amazing plot. Now, here's the thing though. Here's the thing. They better be glad. You know, he loved her enough not to chop her up in some pieces or bury her. You know, that's a part of the story that I was like, okay, you know, and the only reason he didn't do that was because of Juliet. He wanted her to be found, right? And the whole overdose gave him an out. Now, here's the thing. I can't believe that Joe Goldberg didn't follow up, like that he didn't see a news story of Marianne's body being found, an obituary or nothing like that. And it didn't trigger his sensors, right? Because he's very, very smart. He's very, very smart. Like, I don't think people also appreciate how smart Joe Goldberg is. He's genius smart, right? And so that's a little hole in the story for me, that he didn't look up to see that Marianne's body was found in the park, that it was an overdose, an obituary, anything like that. That's a hole in the story for me, but maybe that will come out in the next season. Listen, just learning how crazy Joe Goldberg is, I'm still not okay. I'm not okay. I'm not okay. One of my favorite scenes, and it speaks to this tweet right here, was when Joe was having, I don't know if you would call it a dream or hallucination. I think it was a dream. I think it was a dream where he's dreaming and he's trying to let Marianne out of the cage, right? But he sees everybody, not everybody that is killed, but his lovers. Listen, I didn't like Guinevere Beck in season 1. I didn't. This is when I was extra team Joe Goldberg, and I was like, well, she kind of deserved it. She did cheat. I didn't like her character, right? Because she was a little shady, okay? So was Love. Joe likes shady people. Staying focused. Guinevere Beck came, and it was good to see her. I enjoyed seeing her in the dream sequence, right? I enjoyed seeing how mad she was at him, because at this point, like, he deserved it, right? Then we see Love Quinn. Yes, Love Quinn. It was good to see her. I can't lie and say that Love didn't bring a certain flair to seasons 2 and 3, right? And that she wasn't a great character. So it was good to see her again. I do agree with Joe, though, in the dream that Love Quinn left him no choice Okay, she was killing up folks. Let's not forget, okay? Let's not forget. She was also a villain, right? But I think the point of it was that she wasn't the only villain, right? That he also was a villain and that he was no better than her. And I think that a lot of us that watch it just thought like, Joe, he crazy, but he not love Quinn crazy, right? And that was the point that they were trying to make. And it was well received. Also, can we talk about the character that plays Rhys after we realized that Rhys really didn't know Joe and is this alter ego or whoever, this persona that Joe has made up? Because to Joe, Joe doesn't see himself as this evil person, because Joe doesn't want to see himself for who he is. He creates Rhys, right? Rhys is this evil person. It has to be Rhys that's doing this, when the whole time it's Joe that's doing it. It's Joe that's doing it. But because he can't see himself like that, he created this person to be able to do all of these things, right? And so once he has that psychotic break and Rhys is in the suit and he plays this character, so he plays, it's Rhys, but it's Joe. He plays that, I mean, he just plays it so well. And that ending scene where he's telling Joe, like, I love you, like, I'm here for you, like, I need you. Oh my gosh, give this actor a round of applause. It was awesome. He did a great job at embodying the evil part of Joe, embodying who Joe really was, embodying this psychotic person that Joe is. That's who Joe is. That he embodied it greatly. And listen, writing that and doing that and realizing that that's a part of some really psychotic serial killers, that they have like this alter ego thing going on, and they, you know, it's different parts of them. It was amazing. It was nothing short of amazing. Here's another thing that I want to talk about. So Joe goes to unalive himself, right? But then we see that he actually makes it out. He makes it. He makes it. And he tells Kate, whose father he killed. Okay, he killed her dad. Okay. He tells Kate about the real him. So Joe comes to, and he feels like he's given a second chance to be right and to do right, right? And so he tells Kate about the real him, that he's killed people. And honey, Kate accepts it. Kate ends up putting out an article about how Joe Goldberg survived killer Love Quinn. And he's able to live his life as Joe Goldberg in the end. This is wild. Like, Kate is a crazy person. Something's wrong with her. After he told you this, and you know, now she has these unlimited resources because her dad has died, the company's left to him, and they're able to do this because he has money and power. And listen, that reigns so true, because you know, they have some rich people that has done some bad things, but because they have all this money, they are not held accountable. How realistic is that? And also at the end, here's two things at the end that I kind of didn't like, but you know, they had to happen. Well, one of them had to happen. Nadia's ending. Now, Nadia, you know what you was playing with, right? Once you got Marianne out of there, you should have never kept going after Joe Goldberg. You should have, like, you knew who he was, you knew who he capable of. You should have just left it, or go hand it to the police. That's all you had to do. Go hand it to the police, right? So now you got your little boyfriend killed. And now Joe set you up. And can I just say, I don't know if in this moment where he's setting up Nadia to go to jail for the murder of her boyfriend and all that, I don't know if I was happy or if I was just very disappointed, right? Because I still had like this love for Joe, and she was messing with Joe. But at the end of the day, like, no, Joe, like, you're supposed to be a different person. But now we see like he's really coming into who he is, and that he is about self-preservation, right? It's about self-preservation. And Nadia's ending, it bothered me, but then again, it was like, you know, and so she definitely did deserve better. But at the end of the day, it's Joe Goldberg, very smart, caused it on herself. Or did she? Like, or is he just psychotic? Like, he's just psychotic and a bad person. That's what I'm going to start saying, because I'm still defending him. I can't help it. And also, who else found it really creepy and weird and just, ugh, that they shaved his beard and cut his hair? Let me tell you something. Joe Goldberg, regular Joe Goldberg was cute. He was all right. But bearded, long-haired Joe Goldberg was fine. Nobody want to see this. Nobody want to see. Ooh. Like, it just made him look even more creepier and deranged. I don't like it. Why did y'all do that? Why did and just Kate standing by her man, my man. Baby, Kate is crazy, girl. And listen, they haven't said it was be renewed yet. It's only been out 2 days now, baby. I'm fast, okay? And I think it's gonna be renewed for season 5. I also think season 5 may be the last season, but I would beg of thee. Every great show has had at least 7 seasons. Go out on the number 7. Please, Penn Badgley. Like, I understand you think that the character is all bad, but they have come out with reports of Penn Badgley saying he wants season 5 to be the last season of You, and they're going to honor that because, you know, whatever. But us fans, I don't want that. And listen, if you looked at my last video, I even said how he has to come to an end soon, right? Because it's just getting ridiculous at this point, how the killings and stuff, and he can't get away with it forever, like his karma's gonna get him. But with these infinite amount of resources that he has, he could go a long way. You know, so I am so excited to see what they do in the next season. These writers are amazing. Everybody on this show is amazing. For the people that said it was boring, I knew it wouldn't be. I knew it. Because the seasons have always been the same. If you are a true fan of You, it's a build up to these kind of moments. And you have to trust the process. That's what y'all don't do. Y'all don't trust the process with these shows. Trust the process. I've trusted the process every season. And I loved every single season. You love, this is the last thing I'm gonna say about You Love Quinn fans. Y'all are ridiculous. Y'all are ridiculous. They had people on Twitter talking about oh, it's really confirmed she dead. Was it not confirmed she was dead in the beginning of this series in the beginning of this season, where the Love Quinn family sent somebody to kill Joe? No? None of the articles at the end of season 3 about her death? Her mama trying to get custody of Henry? No? Okay. Here's what else I got to say about this Joe Goldberg living his life now. You survived the killer, Love Quinn. What about Henry? Now you got all this money. You going to get your son? Did you tell her you got a child? You going to get your baby? Huh? You going to get your son back? Huh? Huh, Joe? Because listen, you could be a psychotic killer that I might defend. But if you do that, she's a deadbeat. And we don't do deadbeats over here. Like, I just feel like what's going to happen now that you have this infinite amount of resources? Are you going to take care of Henry? Are you going to send money to Ellie? You know, are you going to do right by Nadia? Like, what are you going to do? You know, I have to see this through. It's so many questions. It's so many questions now that he's able to live as Joe Goldberg. You know, our other story is going to come out. Marianne's still alive. You know, at the end, we hear him still mourning that she killed herself. Is he going to find out she's alive? What's going to happen with that? Is she going to be the one to take him down? Is she going to be the one to kill him? Or is it just going to end with him unaliving himself again? Or trying to anyway. What is going to happen? It's so many questions, right? So many questions. And I know they're going to be answered. And this show does a great job of setting up another season and they just do a great job. And so I just want to tell the creators and everybody involved, y'all did that. Y'all did season 4. And honey, guess who about to watch it again? Because I'm sure there's some things that I missed. You know, when you watch it the first time through, it's things that you missed. And so I'm going to watch it again. Listen. With Joe Goldberg being alive. What about Sherry and Carrie Conrad? What about Sherry and Carrie Conrad who know the real him? What about Theo's dad that knows the real him back in Madre Linda? Are they going to come for him? How is this going to really play out? You know, now that everybody knows Joe Goldberg is alive, how is it going to play out? How is this going to work? How the Quinn family? Are they going to come for him? That guy that was hired to kill him and just ran off with the money? Joe, what is all these loose ends that I feel like they got to tie in the 5th season to make it right? Because him coming out as Joe Goldberg is too many loose ends. It's way too many. So We're going to see what happens. I will definitely be watching. I hope you enjoyed my recap and take of this You Season 4 Part 2. Did you watch? Do you like the show? Did you think it was boring at first? When you watched Part 2, you was like, oh my God, it's great? Or did you think all of it was boring? If you're a person that think it was boring and you're a Love Quinn fan, get it together. You're a hater. Listen, let's drop down in the comments and talk about it. Listen, you could be anywhere in the world, but you're here watching me, and I really, really appreciate it. If you have not, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.